Hi guys, in this video we will discuss PLCFiddle. This is an online simulator for PLC ladder logic. It will allow you to build, modify, and simulate your PLC ladder logic. You can use this by entering the URL above, plcfiddle.com. To start with, let's discuss the parts. Over to our left, we have our variables. We can create and delete variables in here. By default, there are 3 variables. Let's try to add another. Say motor 2. And then we click add, and here it is. Easy as that. Over here we have our instructions. First we have our contacts instructions, our coils instructions, our math instructions. For the math instructions we have add, subtract, multiply, divide, and move. For the compare instructions, we have greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to. For the timer and counters, we have on delay, off delay, retentive, count up, count down, and reset. For the other, these are special instructions. So first we have save. If we save, we'll generate a separate URL for our simulation. Add rung, this will add a rung to our ladder. And then we have our branch instruction. And then lastly we have trash, if in case we want to delete one of our elements. Now lastly, we have here our simulation field. This is where we build our program. We can modify and run our simulation in this field in real time. So first, let's try to turn it on. Start button on. As you can see, when we click the on and the start button, the motor automatically turns on. Even if we turn the start button off, the motor stays on. This is because a motor is in parallel with the start button, so if the motor turns on, it will remain on even if the start button is turned off. Now, to stop the motor from running, we have to hit this stop button, and then the motor turns off. Now, for example, a while ago we've added another variable, motor 2. For example, we've changed the connection in our program. We no longer use this specific motor. We want to change another motor, so we click the drop down box here, select motor 2, and then select this motor 2 as well. So now we're not using this motor variable anymore. We can delete this. Delete. And if we hit the start button, see, motor 2 turns on. Now let's turn this off again, and that's it for a basic tutorial of the PLCFiddle. Now that we've discussed the basics of PLCFiddle, let's try to add some elements. First, let's add this normally open switch in the second rung, and then let's add another element in the second rung, say the multiply function right here. And then we have to assign a variable for these two. In here, let's call it motor 2, same as this one. And then for our multiply instructions, we have to add variables. So first, let's change this to number, and then let's have var 1 and then var 2 as our variable for the multiply element. So for the first one we have var 1, for the second one we have var 2, for the last, let's say var 2. So let's change this number. For example, we write 2, then let's have say 4. Okay, check. And then if we turn this on, as you can see, var 2 increases indefinitely. So it keeps on multiplying by 2 every time the simulation runs. So it increases by a factor of 2. So to turn this off, we hit the stop button again. Turn this off. And then if we turn it on again, will continuously increase by a factor of 2. In our previous example, variable 1 and variable 2 multiplies continuously. So variable 2 increases continuously. In this example, we have what we call a one-shot. So variable 1 and variable 2 only multiplies if there is a signal. To discuss the basic principle of this, if start button turns on, workbeat is normally closed, so it is on. One shot turns on. When one shot turns on, start button is on, workbeat turns on. And then this one shot is on, so variable 1 and variable 2 will multiply to each other. We'll have the result as variable 2, so variable 2 increases. But if we look at here, start button is on, workbeat, which is normally closed, will turn on, so this will be open. So it will prevent another multiplication of variable 1 and variable 2 up until the next start button signal. So to see this in action, let's try and simulate this. So start button, let's turn this on. Okay, as you can see, variable 2 increased from 4, it became 8, and then it stopped. Okay, it only multiplied variable 1 and variable 2 once. Now let's turn the start button off, and then turn it on again. As you can see, variable 2 increased again by a factor of 2. So 8 times 2, it produced 16. So off and then on again, 32, off. If we turn this on again, it will become 64. There. Easy as that. For our last example, let's take a look at this program. It has an on delay timer. You can get the timer in this tab over in the instructions. So time and count, and then on delay timer, drag it over here. Okay, so that's it. We have our on delay timer, and then add a variable. The variable we added is here, timer, and then I've set that timer name to time light. Our output would be a variable called light over here. Okay, so basically what you're gonna have to set in this timer is the preset. This is the number of seconds that you would need to know from the start button that the output, the time light, would turn on. So initially, if we hit the start button, so this start turns on, stop button normally close, so the motor will turn on. The motor would then conduct, and then time light would start counting, but it wouldn't give an output until it reached preset. So it would remain off for 10 seconds, and then when it hit that 10-second mark, it will turn on. So it will remain off until it hit the 10th second. When it hit the 10th second, this will turn on, thereby turning this light on as well. So let's see this in action. First, the start button, I'll turn it on. As you can see, accumulation starts to count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. When it hit the 10th second, the light turned on. Let's see that again. Stop the circuit. On. Accumulation is counting. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the light turns on. So that's it. Basically, PLC is a very easy programming tool. So I hope you study this on your own. There are numerous other instructions here as well. Explore that on your own, and hopefully you will enjoy programming PLC. Thank you.